Okay, it's very exciting to be here today, as Kieran said, and thank you for that. My name is Assaf. I run sales, global sales for AppsFlyer. You know, we started a tradition at Casual Connect in San Francisco a few months ago, where we kind of give back to the community of clients and partners and go out there and answer one of the most common questions we've been receiving, our entire team. It's like, who should I work with? Who should I buy my users with? We have a user acquisition team, we have a marketing team, and we're working with 20 different partners right now. Who's the next one? Who's the best in video? Who's the best in social? Who's the best in retention and other parameters? And we decided to productize that question and make something out of it. And create what we call the AppsFlyer Performance Index. We're releasing that quarterly across different verticals, in this case for gaming, in other cases for other verticals, travel, retail, utilities, and many others. During the presentation, I'll lay out the methodology of how we got to build that index. And big kudos to our marketing and data analytics teams for building that. And let's start. So we all know the biggest problem out there is the vast number of apps trying to gain market share, trying to gain eyeballs, users, and everybody's competing for the same spot. We have a lot of research. This research comes from Nielsen. Over 1.5 million apps at Google Play, 1.4 on Apple iOS Store, and over 40 apps per device, out of which less than 25% are used on a daily basis, which means you have a very limited attention span and very low probability of a user actually using your app even after they install it. Not to mention the amount of users that actually download, install the app, use it once, and never go back to it, which makes the challenge even bigger. So this is the dream. Your app is somewhere at the top all the time, omnipresent, and you get the user attention by just being there and taking a large share of the screen. But that's unfortunately not possible, and I want to address what is possible. So what is possible is a lot of work, hard work, and we're happy to be working hand in hand with some of the largest partners in the space to help them get there. So you start with analyzing, collecting data, and that's the most important thing out there. If you don't collect data, you're doing something wrong. You're allowed to make mistakes, but you have to start somewhere. You start analyzing the data, you need to improve your performance, you need to create that kind of feedback loop and keep going over and over again, rinse, repeat, and keep on optimizing day in and day out. So diving into the research, in terms of methodology, the scope, this research was done for Q3 of this year. Roughly 100 million installs in the gaming sector segment only, across over 1,000 different gaming apps, and hundreds of integrated media partners, ad networks, and platforms. We combine what we call retention rate, so analyzing day 1, day 7, day 30 retention, which are, of course, the most common retention KPIs out there today across the gaming space. We take that and we build what we describe as a retention score. So we normalize that, created a weighted formula that's detailed here. So we take day 1, get some attention, day 7, and of course day 30 is a very strong factor in that formula. And we add what we call the power ranking, which is a combination of the retention score and scale, because you can't look at just one or the other. You have to look at quality and quantity at the same time. and balance it out. Because if you want to scale as a business, as a gaming company, and buy a lot of users at a high quality, you need to find that right balance. And going into retention for Android right now as the first platform that was examined. A very nice little surprise here. I know it's very, very trendy these days to trash this little bird here. But according to retention, the full retention score on Android, Twitter actually reigns supreme. #1 in retention. This is the point where the marketing guys take photos and send to the marketing team. So if you want to snap a photo, thank you for that. You can actually share that. And if you work for Twitter, you just got promoted. I hope so, at least for your sake. Another very interesting fact here is the focus on video. As you can see here, a lot of video guys, Vungle, AdColony, AppLovin, which is very centric on video, Unity ads, and Chartboost that are starting to release some video assets out there. Video works, evidently, when a user understands what they're going into. There's a lot of power to video. Static ads are great and are well performing, but video gives you an inside view of how the game, how the app will behave, what it looks like, what gameplay looks like, and creates better results. Another, of course, clear aspect here, social side of things, Facebook and Twitter at the top, not very surprising. But when you have such a unique data layer about the user, that's extremely valuable. Going into the next batch of players in that space, ranked 11 to 25. Another nice image here. And going into the power ranking for Android, so reminding, combining retention and scale creates a completely different picture. So here can be very surprising to see Facebook at the top. Their scale is the largest out there by far, and you can see them jump from the 5th place on retention to the #1 in overall, impacted by their scale. Again, going back to video, again, there's a very clear part here. And social with Facebook, Twitter, and Line, that's making waves here. #13 as a social platform. And my favorite point about this specific slide is some Israeli pride for the first Casual Connect in Tel Aviv. 4 Israeli-started companies are in the top 25 ranks. We have Supersonic, Startup, DMG, and Iron Source is a mobile core. So that's a lot of pride for the locals here. And if there are a lot of them out there, they all deserve a big hand. Going into iOS. Here the picture is slightly different. M.M with a very interesting appearance at the top of the entire piece here. Again, a lot of video and a bunch of gaming-focused networks. Chartboost, Playhaven, which are very gaming-centric, and of course Unity, which combines being gaming-oriented and video that apparently works really well for them. The second batch of players in that brings in a diverse look at the market. A lot of gaming guys, but a lot of market-specific guys, the Mail.ru guys, and very interesting players here. Somewhat of a different picture than the Google Play Android picture. This is our power ranking for iOS devices. Facebook reigns supreme at the top. And you can see a lot of interesting shifts here for players that either moved up, i.e. Chartboost here, going all the way up to the top almost. Tapjoy, that's apparently traditionally more iOS-oriented and was an earlier player in that market. And that's very interesting. And again, the gaming focus here is very clear. Take Chartboost, Tapjoy, NativeX, Playhaven. I guess the gaming focus is even stronger within iOS apps over the Android Google Play ones. And with that, I'll leave some room for questions. And thank you very much.
So for the power ranking, that's a combination of retention and volume?
Yes.
What do you mean by scale?
Yes.
So it's just aggregate volume. It's not necessarily
Yeah, because
demographics.
we feel like retention is crucial and key to success of every game out there and any app out there for that matter. But you can't take scale out of the equation if you want to build a business around the game or another type of app.
Hey, thank you very much. We really appreciate your coming and giving this information for us.
Thank you.